I come from Dundee originally, and I've lived in Edinburgh for the last almost 30 years. I was brought up in quite a working class background, a council estate, and I suppose what inspired me was both my mother and my father. In terms of my mother left school at 15 and went back to university, college, and ended up being a deputy head teacher. She studied, so I saw that as I was growing up, a mother who wasn't just staying at home but was studying, got her hires, went to college and then became a qualified school teacher and then a deputy head. So for me, she was an inspiration in terms of, you know, she didn't get the opportunities that I had growing up. What's helped me, I think, is seeing other people achieve, but also people who've supported you, encouraged you, individuals who've done that, and organisations that have helped me in the past in terms of giving you financial help to stand as a candidate for different elections, and also other women, to be quite honest, mostly have been quite supportive. Well, the opportunities, I suppose, originally when I became a councillor was that the ward that I stood in had been won the previous time by a Liberal Democrat, and I think all the men thought there was no chance of us beating a Liberal Democrat. I'm a Labour Party and there was no way we were going to try to beat them because it's quite difficult. It was difficult at that time. So I suppose I took the opportunity to put my name forward. I was encouraged to by some people, so I took that opportunity and thought, why not? And in 1984, we won quite a number of seats in Edinburgh. We came into administration. In terms of threats, I think probably usually in politics, men are probably in some ways the threat, and that they'll always say that a woman will look at a job description or look at whether I could do it, and they might say, well, I can only do 9 out of 10, well, will I put myself forward? Whereas men might think I'll only take 5 out of 10, and they'll put themselves forward. And it's the same in politics. The system within politics very much encourages selection of men, or men mostly dominate the politics. I think particularly childcare. You know, we're living in a different world than it was in the 1980s. I was a primary school teacher, and then the first time I became a councillor, an elected member on the council was in 1984. And my son was only 3 and my daughter was 6 months. And at that time, childcare was just not available for women to go back to work, or childcare was just not there. There wasn't the choices. There was, you know, just wasn't that choice for women in particular. So I was lucky in some ways in terms I have a husband, a partner, who's always been very supportive as well. And so him being able to look after the children when they were young in the evenings when you've got nighttime meetings as a councillor. What gives me inspiration? I mean, often what people will say is it an individual? Is it someone that inspires you? But I think all women who achieve, I think, inspire me. But it's not just women as well. I mean, I always think of like Nelson Mandela. I mean, I felt inspired by him being jailed for so many years, but could come out and could forgive. So there's people like Nelson Mandela, while not a woman, could still inspire me. But I suppose from my own sort of background, my mother inspired me in terms of what she did and what she achieved. And if I just look at a lot of women within politics who have achieved and supported me along the time, and men as well, whether it be my husband as well, who's inspired me and said, yeah, why don't you go for it? I always say it, and I only just said this a few weeks ago, we were trying to set up a women's forum within Edinburgh because we've been a lot of discussion about selection of women within the Scottish Parliament, Westminster or local government within our own party. And one of the things I said that really frustrates me about women, some women, is that they get to that position of power and then they forget about all the other women that are perhaps struggling or want to get to that position. And so I always say that my kind of saying is, don't kick the ladder away. What opportunities can you put in place? Because you struggled to get there. So if it was childcare or whether it was having women-only seats. So what mechanisms can you put in place, or how can you make it easier for other women to climb that ladder if that's a choice they want to do so? I think be yourself, be an individual, because it's about choice. Now some people don't have that choice because of certain threats or certain things that come in their way, but not everybody's choice is the same. And you might want to just get to, you might want to set up your own business and be a small business, or you might want to get involved with politics, and that's your choice to do that. And whatever you achieve as an individual, you set out to do, is your achievement. You don't have to prove it to anybody else.